Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, blessings of Allah be upon you. Standing here before what is called the Irem Temple in Wilkes-Barre. We're just gonna take a look at the architecture of this building from the outside, because it's closed down and abandoned. The enormity of this thing is beyond words to describe. Subhanallah, glory be to God for the only thing to explain. Let me see here. Here you have symbol there. Now this place, so the historic records that I was able to find, has nothing to do with it was never a masjid, it was never a house of prayer, but it does have Islamic references. So that's what we're going to take a look into, and we're going to explore more and talk about more, so that we can get an idea of what this building is, what some of this Arabic writing says here, because so many of us could pass by here today that don't speak Arabic, and we probably don't even know of the many Islamic references of this building here that the Temple of Irem used in their architecture of this place here. So we're gonna go ahead, see here. It's also faced by a cathedral of grand size and architecture and stature as well. Enormity. The enormity is incredible. Subhanallah, glory be to God. Look at this. Incredible. Now this is also something that would be interesting to research as well. Age. So also needing maintenance. From what I could tell down here on the ground, it's a broken window. Incredible. It's very interesting. You know, there's a lot of religious places of worship here in Wilkes-Barre, and I think it would be very interesting to dive into the history of why that is. Why do so many people come here to Wilkes-Barre to establish these houses of worship, especially of such stature and nature, you know? Here in Northeast Pennsylvania, where if you go out 30 miles or 40 miles away, it's hard to find a place of worship of such stature and, you know. So, took myself cute pics real quick to look nice. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Right, so here we have Temple of Irem there. Let's continue this little outside little exploration of this place here. Let's zoom in right here. Here we got a little plaque. It says established 1907. So this is why I put in the group chat that, like, and you see all these Islamic references here that they have. That's why I made the I told you, I've read something in history saying that the Ottoman and Turkish influences were heavy and deep in the 1900s here in America, but that's not, we don't ever get that side or account of history, and it's something that we should seek to dive and delve deeper into the to understand how these Turkish and Ottoman influences came about during the 1900s here in America, and why has that part of history been sort of lost and untold. So very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. Something, see here, this building needs maintenance as well, like the cathedral right across the street. Got broken windows and such, and I see some old railings there, scaffolding, roof probably needs some repairs. Oh, look at this here. So let's get see here, it says Irem Temple Restoration Project Incorporated, permit parking only, you know. So my guess is that they have established a corporation for the Irem Temple to raise funding to restore the Irem Temple. Sure, if you want. And that's basically the outside of this structure here. How you doing? Good. I'm Adam. What's your name?
I'm Dale.
Dale? Are you amazed by the beauty of this architecture?
I'm one of the guys trying to restore it.
Did you want to talk?
Well, we can, but
so
yeah.
Basically, I'm coming from the perspective what we're doing here. See, basically, where does these Turkish and Ottoman influences come into play in history, right? We see this was established in 1907, right?
Yeah, but it's see that's Masonic Hall.
Which one?
Right, that building. Hall. Do you know what Masons are?
Yeah, Freemasons.
Freemasons.
Right.
The Freemasons built this. The Freemasons go back to they borrowed the engineering.
You don't mind being on camera?
No.
This is just
they borrow the engineering from back to the pyramids. That's what Masonry is based on. It's based on engineering principles and mathematics.
Right.
They've mixed a little bit of religion in with it, so the Masons have religion and math, but it's a sacred order. Well, this was built by the Irem Temple Shriners, but to be a Shriner, Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia, to be a Shriner, you have to be a Mason. So the Masons built this in 1907, but it was called the Irem Temple Mosque.
Mosque? Why mosque?
Because in honor of the Arabic and back to the pyramids.
Because mosque, the word mosque, right? It's also in reference to masjid, which is house of sujood, which is and sujood is a prostration in prayer. So
and remember,
that's
these are Americans,
right? But
engineering backgrounds,
but here's the thing.
And they built this. You could see the turrets remind you, and you have crescents.
Yeah, this is just like Hagia Sophia. I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm not as familiar with.
It's a famous mosque or cathedral in Istanbul in Turkey.
Yes. Okay. Right? Well, all right. I am familiar with that now. I didn't know it by name.
Yeah. Hagia Sophia. So like, here's the thing. So maybe sometimes we get told a certain part of history, and maybe the account was different. Maybe these are American, Turkish American, could be Ottoman. Why?
My father-in-law is a Shriner. It was built in 1907. It was mostly white miners from this area that basically they were all locals.
Yeah.
They weren't from out of the area. They were all pretty much locals. There's names on the plaque.
Yeah, but why? And if you do know, and God knows best, right? Yeah. Why such a not infatuation? I'd say infatuation
because of masonry. It goes back to
but why Ottoman and Turkish?
Because the pyramids were built by Arabs.
But it wasn't Turkish. It was.
I don't know why it's Turkish. They probably didn't know any better.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't know any better.
That's what I'm saying. There must be a part of history that's being untold that we haven't delved deeper into.
And they probably would have. This was basically, they used to have Arabian Nights here for back when there was no casinos around.
What is Arabian Nights? A play?
Like a Arabian Night, they would have people would dress up and they would have like gambling, like bingo and all that kind of stuff. But it was on the Shriners are a national organization. There's the Shriners Hospitals. Right. Well, the Shriners had this on their magazine front cover for 60 years. Mm-hmm. My father-in-law is a Shriner, and he's 92. And now he was obviously born after this was built, but he is a Mason and he is a Shriner. My son's a Mason as well. He's an engineer, but he's not a Shriner.
Yeah.
But I would bet that they were ignorant of the history when this was built.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't. They were ignorant of the history when they were built.
That's probably a good bet.
And but what I mean by ignorance is not a bad way. Is they just didn't know.
Just apply the
Because
structure.
these were all Christians that built this.
Okay, just apply the structure that was already there with the Shriners Association. Yeah.
I don't know what structure was here before 1907.
I mean, organizational structure.
Yeah, it was the Shriner. It was actually the Masons and the Shriners organization that built this building.
Yeah.
In 1907. Like you look down the church down the corner here, that was built in 1820, but that looks like an English castle.
Which church?
The First Presbyterian down at the corner.
How about this place here, the cathedral here?
Yeah, a gentleman from New York bought that from Brooklyn, but I'm not sure. I've actually never been in that one. Mm-hmm. But down ours was built in 1820. They were on the square when this was Fort Wilkes-Barre back in 1772, when our church was founded 250 years ago, before this was a country.
Wait, what?
My church was founded 250. Now it's down the block, not this one here. By the way, this church here, the Episcopal church here, and our church down the corner by the YMCA were both the same church called Mount Zion Church on the square as early as 1769. But in 1772 they became a church.
Right. 1772.
Yeah, 1772 on the square where the square is.
Yeah.
And then they broke up. That's before this was a country. Before this was a country.
Wow.
And this area was settled long before this was a country. This was settled in the late 16, early 1700s. By white settlers. A lot of them came down from Connecticut. That's why you have a lot of Connecticut. The Westmoreland Club, that's a Connecticut name. That's a Connecticut name. But our church and their church were together, and they had a fight at Christmas time over decorations.
Who's that?
The two church. The church was here made. It was a part of Fort Wilkes-Barre. People were of many different faiths.
Right.
Methodists, Presbyterians.
Sects. Okay.
Yeah. So they were different sects.
Right.
So they argued and they broke up and they built these two churches. And they broke up, and to this day we have a service where, as a matter of fact, it was last Sunday.
Yeah.
Our pastor goes up and preaches at their church, and our congregation goes up there. And then the next year they'll come down to our church, and we honor. And we also have Rabbi Kaplan speak at our church, and we've had a Muslim speak at our church as well.
What's it called? Okay, so
we're First Presbyterian. You know
Presbyterian, and the other one is what?
Episcopal.
Episcopal.
The First Presbyterian. You know where the YMCA is?
I'm not from the area.
Well, the YMCA is like if you go. It's actually if you walk down not this block, the next block you'll find the first church is the Episcopal Church, and down the other end of the street is the First Presbyterian Church. We have a gymnasium in our church. It's not big.
Yeah.
But the Episcopal Church has surround sound built in the 1800s. You know how they did it?
Sound, right?
They piped
concave.
They piped the organ all the way through the building.
Oh, they piped the organ.
So they literally have, and it's a lot of gold in that building, like insane. A lot of very ornate churches.
I want to turn our attention back here.
Yeah.
So
over here, this is definitely with the way.
And good
now I'm a Christian.
What's your name again?
Dale.
Dale.
I'm a Christian, but I believe. I often say to people, what happens if we get to heaven and the joke's on us and Allah and Yahweh are the same dude or lady or whatever?
Yeah.
I know that might sound sacrilegious to you,
but look, Allah is the creator of you and me, right?
And we say Yahweh is. Yeah.
So look, and if there was an apple in my hand, maybe one of us could tell each other how many seeds in there, but there's only one entity that can tell us how many apples can come from the seed. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And that's Allah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I believe that in tolerance, and everybody should be able to live
for sure
the way they want.
If you know Jerusalem history, right? The Muslims, when Jerusalem was under control of Muslims, Christians, and the Jews, they lived in harmony.
Right. And well, I can tell you, I've been to 26 countries, and in Spain, they still do.
They still do.
In Spain, they.
I want to show you the Arabic writing.
Yeah.
Do you know what that Arabic writing says?
No, I don't.
I'll tell you what it says. So I had it. I mean, I can.
And I'm sure the guys that built this, they knew a lot more about this than we do.
So, La ilaha illallah, What does that mean?
I have no idea.
You know what that means?
No.
It's what we in Islam say all the time. La ilaha illallah. Actually, when you're going to take your shahada, your testimony of faith, you say Allah, meaning there is no God except for Allah. There is no...
And we say there is no God except Yahweh, and that's why that's why both of our faiths have fought since the Crusades back to that time.
Who's Yahweh?
That's the Christian God, Jewish God and Christian God, Yahweh.
Jewish, okay.
Jewish and Christian, same God.
Oh, wait.
Jewish, Christian, and Catholic have the same God.
So that's when the sectarianism plays a role, because I know other churches would not say Yahweh. You know?
Well, there's different names for God, but that's the God of love. But that's God. Yeah, when they speak of Him as the God of love, it's Yahweh.
Okay.
You could Google Yahweh and you'll see that it's a Jewish reference to God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And all Catholics, Protestants, and Jewish know the term Yahweh. That would be equal to your Allah.
So would you be a Protestant as well?
I am a Protestant.
Okay, Protestant.
My father was 100% Sicilian, which is odd. You would think he'd be Roman Catholic, but he wasn't. For the closest church, when they came over from Europe, the closest church was walking distance, and it was Protestant. And that's how they ended up being Protestant.
Okay. So a lot of like Protestant faith and beliefs and practices are like Judeo-Christian.
Same. It's Judeo-Christian ethic, based on the Bible.
Yeah.
And we, by the fact, our pastor teaches religion at Misericordia, and he's read the Quran several times, and he's informed us that Jesus is mentioned in the Quran 97 times positively, in a positive nature.
And we have a whole surah to Mother of Jesus Mary.
I just wish everybody. I'm a moderate. I know there's in this country you have Republicans and Democrats, but I'm a moderate. I just want people to get along. I'm a moderate Republican.
Have you read the Quran?
No, I have not.
Would you like to read the Quran?
No.
I saw Qurans.
Probably when I have more time on my hands someday.
$10. Give me $10. No, I got it in the trunk of my car.
I'm good. I'm good. My pastor has one. I mean, we actually have one at our church.
I could even send you a link. It could give you a free Quran.
No worries. We actually have my pastor. We've actually have it at our church.
I mean,
because my pastor's very moderate. He like another example. Anyone that can come in our church at any time and take communion. Catholics and the Jewish don't allow that. Like you have to be.
No, I know Jewish. Your mother has to be
right.
Jewish.
And Catholic, you have to be part of the Catholic Church to take communion. In our church, we're Presbyterians are very moderate. Everyone's welcome in our church. Everyone, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, any religion, anybody's welcome, and they could take communion immediately the first day they come in. I mean, if we're having communion, we do it once a month.
So Dale, you're working this project here?
Yeah, I'm on the board. I'm a semi-retired consultant. I'm actually just doing weed whacking today.
Weed whacking?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a music venue. This is never a church. This is never a church.
No, I know it wasn't a church.
This is it was the premier entertainment facility in the area in the early 1900s, because the Kirby Center over here, that was a Comerford Theater. So that was not set up for, and it still isn't. That's why we're doing this. We're removing all of our seats on the floor, so there's 6,000 square feet of open space. Because most of the bands that want open floor, they will not come to Wilkes-Barre because they don't have a venue like that.
So we're going to turn this into a venue.
It's a museum and a music venue, and we'll have trade shows, weddings. We'd like to. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to offer the Fine Arts Fiesta this week to use our parking lot. We own the parking lots as well, and we rent the spaces.
Yeah, and is that because it's like best interest in the school and everything like that?
Well, we're separate from that.
No, I mean because there is school around here, so I'm saying the campus is right here. You know.
Well, no, we're doing this to create foot traffic for downtown Wilkes-Barre, because downtown Wilkes-Barre, prior to the pandemic, had 11,000 downtown workers that spent about $50 a week. Well, only 6,000 have come back. As you can see, there's a lot of open spaces. They're working remotely.
Right.
They're still working remotely, so they don't come downtown. So downtown, the restaurants lose the business. This will provide daytime and nighttime traffic for the restaurants and hotels and things like that.
City help you out?
Not yet.
I'm surprised.
The county and the state, but not the city. Yeah.
All right.
This is Northeast Pennsylvania. There's a lot of politics.
So I'm surprised there's not because you said it was a mosque. There isn't like any.
Well, it wasn't. It was called the Irem Temple Mosque, but it was never a church. There was never any. I mean, I'm not saying no.
A place of worship.
There were church conventions in here, but it was never a church, a place of worship. It was It was always a venue, and most often an entertainment venue. It's got the largest stage in a 100-mile radius.
Wait, so always a venue?
Always a venue since it was opened.
Because I have read online on the page, it said that it was like rituals they would do and stuff like that.
Well, that's what Masons do.
Right?
Yeah, Shriners, they have rituals. You get inducted into Masonry. It's a long process.
Let me ask you a question, because maybe it's a misconception. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions in my religion, right?
Right.
People always say Masons are satanic and stuff like that. What do you believe? You're Christian. You're Christian, so how that wouldn't work?
I don't believe that.
That'd be contradicted.
Well, I know my father-in-law's a Mason and my son's a Mason, and neither of them are satanic. They both go to church, and they're not satanic. And they've never indicated that. And if it were anything like that, I'm pretty sure my son would have objected to it.
Okay. Yo no puedo pasar contigo, no?
Pardon?
I can pass with you, yes or no?
I know. What do you want? There's
Thank you for me. I just want to walk. I just want to see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's up
Oh, thank you.
We
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to see the structure from the outside. All right, cool. All right, guys. So look, we've been given access by Dale to come look at the.
It's a gorgeous building.
Subhanallah, glory be to God for it.
Beautiful. And there's people that want to tear it down.
No way, no way, no way. It could definitely be repurposed. You understand? So there's a bunch of routes we can take. You know.
Yep.
That's the thing with it.
We're trying.
You know, it's just like what happened with Hagia Sophia.
I'm like you. I pray God's will be done. I'm doing the best I can. But if I fail, I fail. But I'm doing. There's people that want to bring it down.
Nah. I don't think so. I don't think so. That wouldn't be good. Nah. And in Arabic they say, "Mashallah, what God wills."
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? If you're able to do it,
we say God's will be done.
Right. So if you're able to do something with it, you're able to do it.
I hope so.
And if not, it's what God will.
I don't know.
You know?
Maybe God doesn't like some of the bands that be coming here, so I don't
That's
know.
right. That's right. Yeah, that was a good one.
How long are you gonna be here?
I just want to go around the building. I just want to see it like this.
I mean, I can let you in.
Oh, cool. All right, perfect. No problem. Yeah, because I pretty much went around except for the back. I'm so glad you got like good interest, just like me. Okay, guys.
What I like is young people that like old stuff.
I
everybody my age will sit there and say that your generation does not care about these things. And I'm like, you know what? You can't generalize. Not everybody.
Listen, there's a group of guys just like me, and we love theology. We like to look at different religions. We like to look into history.
This was never.
We study language.
I mean, I know this. It appears that they wanted to, but they did this for. I hate to say it, but it was kind of unique. It was like decoration, but to honor.
I know that.
The tradition of mathematics and engineering.
Yeah. Oh, word. Yeah. That's right.
And a lot of people don't realize. Like I'm a moderate, so when people talk about Muslim faith, 9/11, I'm like, well, the Crusades, Christians were very ruthless people.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, that started the hatred between the two.
I put it to it like this.
But that's what created the hatred between the two. But I said, most people just want to put food on the table.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Put their kids through school and have something left for retirement.
Right.
I don't care what religion.
Striving for excellence.
Right, exactly.
What's it called? I put it to like this. Islam is perfect. The Muslim isn't. You know what I'm saying? So
if you put your life,
and I'm pretty sure
that there's marble steps.
All throughout history, there's been a lot of Christians. Like Saladin, he used to have some of his companions. Yeah, I see it.
Now, I don't know if you can't really get the light, how ornate that, but the steps, and this is on marble.
Yeah, this is marble. You know, I seen a. Oh wait, there's not the one.
Very ornate, but there's 4 floors in here. This place could seat 1,900 people.
Massive. 4 floors.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You can go on our website and see what the uses are going to be.
Oh man, I'm running out of footage. I'm gonna have to just record for the chat, man.
No, that's all right.
That's cool.
We're gonna remove all these seats.
Guys, take a look here. This is the Irem Temple. Wow, this really was a theater. No one can say anything. This was a theater.
Yeah, it was for performances.
Yeah, it definitely was. Abraham got shot here. No.
Yeah, I've been to Ford's Theater. That's in D.C.
Wow.
But look at the little cupolas up there, and believe it or not, all this stage stuff can be refurbished. We can save it. We've had a person in to look at it. But we plan on doing a museum and a music venue.
This is the old Shriners robe here?
No. Well, I guess it could be, yeah. Guess it could be. And I know, it does look like Ku Klux Klanish, doesn't it?
No.
But that's your symbol.
The hood,
I don't understand these symbols. You do. I don't.
This is Ottoman Turkish influence.
Yeah, I figured that. But I know, and is this the crescent? Because I know the crescent is up.
So, Islam, we use no symbols. That is Ottoman.
Okay.
So when you see that, they got that from the Ottomans.
So then this really isn't Islamic then, it's more Turkish.
Turkish, but the La ilaha illallah.
So if I use the term Islamic, I'm using it wrong. I should be using Turkish or influence.
Ottoman, I would say.
Ottoman
but the thing is,
well, the Ottoman Empire became
I
Turkey.
say Islamic references because we got La ilaha illallah.
Yeah.
And that's our basic dogma, you know?
Yeah.
La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. That would make you Muslim right there. Yeah. If you believe that God sent servants such as Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Moses, Noah to be